Hi everybody, welcome to my Ace Combat 7 review, and the footage you're seeing here is from a PlayStation 4. Right away, of course, I'm going to say Ace Combat 7 is definitely worth buying cheap on Xbox or PlayStation. I don't know if it's available on the PC, and especially if you have a PSVR. If you have the PlayStation Virtual Reality headset, you've got to get Ace Combat 7. Honestly, even at full price, there may only be, I think there's 4 VR missions, but the opportunity to take off from a carrier, fly around, shoot down loads of enemy planes, have your wingmen come in really close, which is something you don't really see that often in the game. But there's what happens is, as you're flying around, your wingmen come in to get really close to you, and you can look left and look right, and you can see them, you can see the wings of your aircraft, you can look back over your aircraft, and then when you've completed the mission, coming in to land on the aircraft carrier is something else, and I can't wait to do it again and again. Really, really cool. So yeah, if you got PSVR, Ace Combat 7 is a absolute must, and I think they should bundle those missions with the PSVR when you buy one, because it's definitely a killer app, as they say. So what about it for the rest of the game? I'll be honest, when I first started playing Ace Combat 7, I had a little bit of trouble with it because I couldn't really get my head around the controls and the way that the weapons work. I think because I was trying to treat it too much like it was maybe like a flight simulator, which it definitely isn't. This is an arcade shooter that has, flight mechanics in it. But you've got this plane that has dozens and dozens and dozens of missiles on it, and it's definitely worth watching a few tutorial videos about how the HUD works. And so, when you're looking at the HUD like we are here, how do you know which enemy your missile system or your gun system or your bomb system is trying to lock onto, and how do you change that, and how do you make it lock onto something else, and then how do you improve the chances of your missiles hitting? What do the special weapons do? All this sort of stuff will definitely help you enjoy the game better. And once I had done that, and once I'd watched a couple of videos about the story behind Ace Combat, because when you're watching the cutscenes, often you're thinking, what on earth is going on? And to be honest, there's the start of this game is physically playing it, the mechanics of the game and the models of the aeroplanes. They look absolutely amazing, not only in the cutscenes, but when you're flying around and when you're taking off and landing and that sort of stuff. The story is the main thing. So if you watch something that tells you about the entire story of the game, you won't be spoiling any of your enjoyment of the game. It's not, even if there's some twists in it, you won't really care, because what's cool about this game is when you get through the cutscenes and you get up into the air and then you start doing the mission. Now, I play it on easy because I'm not that good at this sort of game. But as you start to play it on the harder levels as well, damage starts to go up. You have less ammo, and you really have to try and plan not only your missions in terms of which targets you're going to attack, but which aircraft you're going to attack, which weapons you're going to have on them, which upgrades you're going to use as well. Because although I think I'm flying in the Fighting Falcon in this particular mission, which is fairly near the beginning of the game, there are loads and loads of different aircraft to unlock, and in those aircraft there's different weapons you can unlock and different abilities for those aircraft as well. So you might want an A-10 Thunderbolt for one mission, you might want a Tomcat for another, or you might want a Russian jet for something else. And so there's lots of replayability as well to go back to play previous missions on a harder level, maybe with an aircraft that is a little bit more suited to it. As you can see here as well, there's lots of different ways you can look at the game. There's the chase camera like this, there's the in-cockpit camera, or my favourite one is just the one where you see the HUD in front of you, and you can, you're just chasing targets. And to be honest, to start off with, a lot of the time it does feel like you're just chasing icons around, but once you get more used to the throttle control and the rudder control and how the different weapons work, and the radar as well in the bottom left hand corner is just changing between the different magnifications, it really is very, very, very cool indeed. And I think probably because it's been so long since we've had an Ace Combat game, we forget how good these games are, and we forget how cool it is to be flying around in the sky. I know there's lots of space combat games as well, but this really is good. And something as well is when you're watching this video, you may even get a little bit motion sickness, and you may think, well, you're just flying around and wheeling around, and is there much to it? But honestly, when you're playing it, it feels absolutely fantastic. What you're seeing there is there's a chase cam for the missiles as well. So when you fire a missile, if you hold the button, the camera chases it. You've got to be careful where you are, otherwise you're flying to the ground. But it lets you see your missiles chase down aircraft and shoot them down, which is very, very, very cool indeed. So there we go, Ace Combat 7, absolutely worth buying cheap if you're on Xbox or PlayStation, and it is a must buy if you've got a PlayStation VR helmet. It is absolutely brilliant. Anyway, that's enough from me. Put your questions and comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.
Hell yeah! Hey, do you have a lead on the situation?